So in the previous videos, I've talked about how science cannot disprove the existence of God, right? That's the first point that I made. And the second point was uh, that the complexity of this universe, right, and combined with our intuition and our aesthetic sense, proves the existence of God, right? So, in my point of view, the existence of God is, we don't have to do a complex experiment to prove the existence of God, because God's existence, like, these experiments, science, discovery of science, is just, all of these things are recent, right? Simple observations, right, prove the existence of God, right? The arguments that I'm making right now are gonna be, true for any time, right? Even for old times, right? Any person could observe the complexity of life and use their intuition along with their aesthetic sense to guide them towards a creator, right? But the question that I want to address now is, does science can science prove the existence of God, right? So there are 2 points in the answer to this question. The first is that globally, right, the global approach of science is to study the complexity of this universe, how complex this universe is, right? And I've talked about, we know that the universe is becoming more and more complex as we studied, right? The recent discoveries of quantum mechanics, quantum field theory, right? It just keeps on getting trickier and trickier, right? But science is a quest, right? And in that quest, we use different approaches, right? But the global approach is that we're studying the complexity of this universe, and the complexity of this universe indicates the existence of a creator, right? So globally, yes, science is, it can be seen as a proof. The global approach of science can be seen as a proof for the existence of God. But locally, right? You cannot say that okay. Can we do an experiment that proves the existence of God, right? Because that's a local approach. Everyone is doing their own experiments, right? We have the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider, and somewhere we have an experiment testing the proton decay and stuff, like there are thousands and thousands of experiments that people are performing, right? And all of that is to study the complexity of the universe, and everyone is doing their own experiment locally. And those experiments are in a way, they represent our limitation, right? The experiments that we performed like 50 years ago, right? We are performing the much more complex, much more advanced experiments right now. So our observations are dependent on instruments, on the technology of the time. When we are able to go to other planets, maybe we'll discover new materials, perform new experiments. So all of the local approach, right? The local approach is dependent on our technology, on limitations, on the materials we have, on the skills we have. It's like, the list goes on, right? So the local approach is too chaotic to include God in it, right? Because it's too tentative, it's too limited, right? But the global approach obviously reinforces the complexity argument. So this is the conclusion of this video, that yes, science globally is a quest to discover a creator. Yeah, so that was the point. If you guys have any questions, you're welcome to ask, and make sure you follow the channel. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.